Hey everybody, welcome to our 90-minute IFS upgrade webinar. We're super excited to have you guys here today. As we admit more people into the room, make sure throughout the session that you hold on to all of your questions because we have reserved a time at the end for Q&A. And don't forget to stick around because at the end, we're also giving away a $500 Nike gift card. So Dimitrik, I'll hand it over to you to get started.
Perfect. So we'll jump right in. For today's session, I mean, just the core team that'll be participating. I'll kick things off with a little bit of an overview of who is Pro-V, as well as get into kind of what we're seeing as the drivers for the upgrade. Srinivas, our CTO, will primarily be driving the presentation today, showcasing a lot of the tools, methodologies, and approaches that we've had a lot of success with helping IFS customers migrate to the cloud and explore what the benefits would be. Brian will also be joining to help with Q&A, and Nilanjan as well, our head of delivery. So again, we want to keep this as interactive as possible, but we also recognize that this is a webinar format. So chime in with your questions in the chat, and we do have a Q&A session lined up at the end of the session. So from an agenda perspective, like I said, I'll kick things off with some introductions. We'll get into the key drivers that we're seeing that's transitioning customers to move to the cloud. We'll go through what we're seeing, what we call our URA, or Upgrade Readiness Assessment, and some of the essential steps for success. We'll talk about AI, automation, and some advanced analytics that also are part of that upgrade strategy. As you know, IFS over the last year and a half and longer has been on the cutting edge when it comes to AI, specifically around industrial AI. If you guys were at Unleashed or some of the other recent events, you'll know that that's been a key theme. So we'll talk about some of those things, and then, like I said, we'll get into Q&A and talk about next steps. So just to kind of, I'm going to spend just a few minutes talking about, who is Pro-V, just to orient you with us as a partner in the ecosystem. First off, we are a full service global technology partner with IFS. We've been in the ecosystem since 2015. So we do everything from implementations for net new customers that are moving from other ecosystems, legacy applications, whether it's Oracle, SAP, Infor, so on and so forth, to upgrades, which is what we'll be focused on today, right? Taking customers from legacy versions and getting them to the latest and greatest. We also offer managed services to help with, staff augmentation, as well as break fix to support customers. And then we do a lot of project work. So essentially, when you think of Pro-V, no project's too small or too big. We really are known in the ecosystem for our work in a variety of different industries, everything from aerospace and defense all the way to utilities and telco and everything in between. So whether you're a full service provider or a manufacturer, we can certainly support you. We are a global company with just around 1,000 people globally, and highly certified organization. We focus on everything from the full order to cash life cycle. When you think of IFS's core products, whether that's ERP, asset management, or field service management, and some of the other complementary things around the ecosystem, we support that as well. And I'm not going to get into all the details here. We'll kind of cover that in one-on-ones, but this is just sort of showcase that we are Microsoft certified and are again able to integrate and implement all those tools to help you be successful. I already kind of shared this, so I'm just going to touch on a few of these here. Again, we are a global organization, and what that enables us to do is really support customers that are in the IFS ecosystem that are, global companies that have multi-site, multi-currency, multilingual scenarios, and we can support you with that 24/7 around the sun support. From a center of excellence perspective, we have five centers of excellence. So whether that's in our Philippines location, Sri Lanka, uh, as well as, I mean, India, I'm sorry, Brazil, Poland, so on and so forth. We have a global presence that enables us to really meet customers where they're at and also be on the cutting edge of some of the things that IFS is doing in the ecosystem. And I'll just say this right here, we're a really flat organization, so it's really easy to access all of our leadership team. So we're known in the ecosystem as being fast, nimble, very accountable. So, we're the kind of partner that's not going to make excuses or point fingers. We're going to ask, how can we get it done? And so I'll leave it there for that perspective. So I want to jump right into the content and really what are some of the key drivers that are uh, pushing customers to explore and move towards upgrading to IFS Cloud. And just at a very high level, and I'm not going to go through the details on each one of those, but these are really the seven biggest factors that we see time and time again as the key factors that are driving customers to upgrade to the cloud. As businesses continue to evolve, we see a major shift in how IFS customers approach their cloud strategy. And so today, I'm going to walk through, just like I said, a few of these key trends. And so, number one, aging infrastructure and end of life support. As you recently noticed, that IFS has ended standard support in March, so that'll be next month. And so many customers that are still running, let's say, app 10s or older versions, which are reaching that end of life, there may be higher maintenance cost, maybe increased security risk, and just the challenge of finding skilled resources to support those legacy environments. So moving to the cloud eliminates these issues and ensures that vendors, customers continue to get that support and reduce those infrastructure costs. So, and according to Gartner, 60% of CIOs cite legacy systems are the biggest barrier to digital transformation. So it's not just modernization, taking those legacy systems and bolting on things around them there, to really get to that digital transformation and take advantage of all the tools and capabilities that are available on modern systems. You have to be able to make the leap. Number two, application complexity and standardization. So a lot of companies have grown through acquisition over time. And so these ERP systems often become heavily customized, making upgrades more complex and costly. So cloud essentially helps organizations standardize applications and reduce that technical depth, all while maintaining the flexibility through built-in extensibility options. So, according to Forrester, 55% of IT leaders say that managing ERP customizations is one of their biggest pain points. So I'm sure a lot of you guys on the call today can relate to that. So I'm just going to go through a couple more of these. I'm not going to go through all these because I just want to make a point that this is the theme in which that Srinivas will really be focusing on today and showcasing how, Pro V through our tools, methodologies, and processes can help you avoid these costs and these scenarios. So I'll go through, just a couple more. So cybersecurity, for example, with increasing security threats and evolving compliance regulations, especially in our international counterparts, those European locations, cloud security has become a critical priority. So modern platforms offer built-in security controls, automated updates, compliance frameworks that helps protect data and ensure regulatory compliance. I think the average cost of the data breach in 2023 was about 4.45 million. And then the big one, right? AI. One of the biggest advantages of moving to the cloud is access to AI-driven automation and predictive analytics. I mean, like I mentioned very early on, if you've been to any IFS event in the last year and a half, AI has been at the top of the list of innovations and features that customers are asking about, talking about. So, um, leveraging these capabilities to optimize things like scheduling, predictive maintenance, and real-time decision making are really turning data into a competitive advantage. So, um, I'm going to uh, turn it over to Srinivas from here. Again, these are kind of the 7 or so buckets that we'll really be focused on as themes to kind of drive that are driving customers to explore upgrades. Shri, you want to take it from here?
Yeah, sure. Thank you, Dimitri. Can I have the screen sharing option so that I can share my screen?
You bet.
All right. Hope my screen is visible to you.
Yes.
Right. So while Dimitri has already covered about the key drivers that are driving towards adoption of IFS Cloud, I will also cover some of the reasons. Maybe some of these things have already been covered by Dimitri. So one of the reasons why people move away from IFS 10 is because to ensure that they get, just a minute. Yeah. So, as already Dimitri has told, the IFS 10 end of life is happening in 27th March 2025. That means the current support that is available with IFS with the IFS 10 application is going to end, and then subsequently, if you want to continue on IFS 10, it means that you have to go for extended support. Extended support means higher support costs, and that too for a maximum of 3 years. And then at the same time, this also means that there are no new features, which results in performance inefficiencies and also operational bottlenecks. There will be also lack of updates, right? So the software does not receive any new updates, be it related to cybersecurity or the issues that are there within the core platform, or maybe related to the security vulnerabilities and such kind of things. No updates will be available, and at the same time, there is going to be barriers to growth and innovation. Continuing to use this particular application hinders the deployment or adoption of AI and automation and such kind of things. So that what happens is that the result is that you will be falling behind your competitors. And already I have told, because of the non-availability of updates, the security vulnerabilities and all these things will be outdated within no time, and then the software will have unresolved security issues. All these particular things, and also over a period of time, the platforms which are currently supporting IFS 10, if not on the cloud, would also become obsolete, and these things also need to be replaced. So these are some of the reasons why people move away from IFS 10 and want to upgrade into IFS Cloud. But at the same time, this could also be a reason for customers who are already on legacy versions even before IFS 10. Going on to the this one, I will cover about how IFS cloud platform has been evolving since its release in 2021, which is actually built to leverage the path towards digitalization and moving the solution into cloud platforms. So IFS Cloud is a single module addressing IFS ERP, FSM, enterprise asset management, planning, scheduling, and optimization, customer engagement, and also AI, and also other modules like manufacturing, scheduling, optimization, and all such kind of things are part of this particular module. They are all provided as one single software in a modular manner, constructed with flexibility for you to choose the capabilities that you need today, and then add new functionalities as your business evolves. So you can also enjoy an AI powered single user experience, connected data, insights, automation, and such kind of things with this particular composable architecture that IFS Cloud platform is built on. IFS Cloud is again is available as a containerized package, so which has got all the different softwares packaged as software services into container workloads. It provides the flexibility to run highly efficiently at the scale in the cloud, while it also offers the same great IFS cloud software in other deployment models, such as a third party cloud other than IFS managed cloud, or even when you want to host it on premise. The containers also make it easier to move IFS cloud independent of the underlying hardware and automate deployment and updates. Like what is happening is that you are going to have this particular content because of containerization. You are not worried about whether you want to host it on an Azure platform, either given by IFS or maybe a third party like a Provi kind of partner who is also hosting platform on Azure platform. It could also be hosted on AWS and also other platforms. So it completely makes it independent of the underlying hardware. And also it has got a lot of automation within the deployment, and also how the updates are handled also has got a lot of automation within that particular one. You can imagine the updates and upgrades that were happening in the past in the previous versions, where you have to spend a lot of time and effort doing a lot of regression testing and also performing a lot of activities for performing an upgrade. So, but then upgrade or an update. But here, actually, these particular things happen seamlessly at the click of a button, and then these things will happen as long as you are having the application with all the capabilities that have been built for IFS Cloud. And IFS Cloud has been also having a lot of enhancements. The functionalities which you have in the previous versions of IFS, such as IFS 10, have been increased. You have more than 800 plus functionalities over and above the functionalities that are already available in IFS 10. And then as new updates and upgrades are coming in within the IFS Cloud platform, also these things are more and more increasing on every 6 months basis. A lot of user feedback is also taken, and then these particular enhancements has been implemented to ensure that these particular user feedbacks are met in the newer versions that are coming in. This the each of these particular cloud updates or the cloud upgrades, as we get every 6 months, these are going to deepen the industry focused capabilities within the solution. You can experience rapid access to continuous software innovations and improved experiences. You can adapt to updates on a schedule under your control to maintain your organization's evergreen status. So the updates are available every month, and then upgrades are available every half an year. But then it is under your control how and when you would like to have the upgrades implemented and accepted into the system. A lot of innovation has been added into the functionalities that have been brought in IFS Cloud. You can unlock them seamlessly with IFS Cloud. Transformation technologies are embedded directly, ready to activate with minimal effort. Through IFS AI, access is provided to industrial AI use cases, including the IFS AI Copilot. You have automation, optimization, anomaly detection, and more. All these particular things ensure that you can quickly leverage the latest in AI and technology advancements, streamlining the processes and enhancing decision making with minimal effort. All these things are possible with the artificial intelligence solution being provided as an enabling technology embedded throughout the IFS cloud product. And it also helps solve different problems to better support your business rather than providing generic tools from which you need to derive your own value. So it also has got machine learning capabilities. Adoption of IoT connectivity and such kind of things also help you get better insights about your process that is happening, take automated decisions, and also handle your system with much more better data driven analytics and such kind of things when you are handling the solution with IoT connectivity. This is something which is coming up with IFS Cloud very often, and then you are getting more and more features in every update and upgrade. So this becomes a very good scenario for us to move towards IFS Cloud. So this evergreen nature, right? So there is a complete evergreen. The solution is going to be completely evergreen. You will get regular updates. You will have long-term support. All these particular updates are available on a monthly basis, and upgrades are available on a 6 months basis. And these things actually are not going to be big upgrades or big updates which are consuming a lot of time, so that these things could be done in a short time, and then you can also leverage the benefits of the new functionalities that are coming up within the IFS environment and ecosystem. IFS also comes with an intuitive, seamless experience. You can discover a significant leap in usability with IFS Cloud's user experience. It is built on cutting-edge web-based technology called as Arena, drawing from the best consumer-led design principles. And IFS Cloud is responsively designed to enable truly mobile workforce across all the departments and processes. You can use the same solution without any change on a mobile device or on a tablet or on your computer, without having to look at without having to have starting different applications for each of these particular things. So I want to cover the evergreen strategy, whatever is the. I have been talking about evergreen strategy as one of the driver for moving into IFS Cloud. So understanding the evergreen strategy is to inform you that you will receive updates twice a year, ensuring access to the latest features and improvements. Uh, this is one of the feature, and then these upgrades or updates are going to be smaller. They are going to be more frequent updates, meaning less disruption to your business operations. And then at the same time, within a short period of time, you will be able to have all these particular things implemented with, so that it will actually reduce the overall downtime that is required to have these particular updates or upgrades built into your system. It comes with enhanced security, because you have regular updates and regular patches being provided, and then each of these particular things also will have the latest security patches and improvements. So the security of this particular system will also be enhanced to a lot extent by following this particular evergreen strategy. It is also going to be cost efficient, because you are going to avoid large scale upgrades. So you are saving on costs associated with extensive testing and implementation. In a regular scenario, you might be putting a lot of effort on the not only on the upgrade, but also on regression testing and such kind of things as part of the update or an upgrade. These things would be these costs would be saved when we are looking at the updates and upgrades on IFS Cloud environment. And at the same time, you have an improved user experience by since you have access to the latest functionalities, enhancing the productivity. And now, by leveraging this particular evergreen strategy, you are going to have some benefits. The benefits will be like you are going to have the streamlined processes, which are going to reduce the bottlenecks and improve the overall efficiency. And at the same time, you will have access to real-time data access, because you have the web browser based solutions. You can connect to it at any point of time, at any place, so which will actually provide enhanced real-time data access. At the same time, such kind of things will also help you have enhanced analytics within the system, and also enable for better decision making. The application is completely scalable. It is designed to grow with your business and providing flexibility, and then adapt with an adaptable infrastructure. Since it's on the cloud, the infrastructure also can be adapted to the functionalities, whatever are required. The cloud infrastructure also can be adapted to that particular one with ease. So it is having a lot of scalability within the application, and also provides better and enhanced customer experience with its improved service quality and faster response times. So there are other strategic benefits and considerations for IFS Cloud adoption also. So it combines a lot of workflows into single environment for better visibility. So you have centralized processes reducing operational friction. You have incremental updates enabling faster adoption to market changes. And then why cloud matters is because you have flexible access for remote teams and field workers. You have reduced internal maintenance with external infrastructure management, because you are going to host it on the cloud. The infrastructure management is moving away from your own internal maintenance teams to the external teams, which are managed in well, and then they have good infrastructures to be able to provide these, but to provide against failures or any other scenarios that are going to come in. You have rapid deployment of the new functionalities through the updates and upgrades that are going to come in. You have the balance between performance and flexibility in this particular cloud hosted solution. And also, there are some key considerations that you want to look at when you want to adapt to IFS Cloud. For this particular one is that actually you are going to have a cost transition. Earlier, you might have gone for a single perpetual kind of licenses or any kind of things, but then here it is going to be a SaaS platform or a platform as a service. So what happens is that you are moving away from capital costs into operational costs. You are going to have rapid deployment of the new functionalities, and we have flexible access for remote teams and field workers. You have advanced security protocols and continuous threat monitoring, automation, IoT, AI, and machine learning and enhanced capabilities are also built into this solution. So while I have covered the strategic benefits and considerations for moving into IFS Cloud, and also what are all the key drivers to enable moving into the cloud, I will start moving into how we plan for the upgrade, what kind of help we provide to get to the upgrade functionalities and such kind of things. So how we plan all those things, I will start covering from here onwards. So, as part of the upgrade roadmap, we always start with an upgrade readiness assessment. An upgrade readiness assessment is where we try to study your existing system. It could be any of the legacy system, right from IFS 10 and below, IFS 9, 8, anything. We try to study your system. We try to study it from different functionalities, whether you want to create the functionalities as it is, or you would like to have the functionalities or the processes revisited from the point of view of you would like to have a solution optimization or a solution re-engineering kind of thing. We try to study all those particular things as part of the upgrade readiness assessment. Now, based on this particular assessment, we have two different ways of actually performing the upgrade to the IFS cloud environment. So first, the one of the process would be to use the technical upgrade method when you are on IFS 10 and the solutions or the versions that are supporting the technical upgrade. We try to utilize the technical upgrade solution by which you leverages the scripts to to build the cloud upgrade using the same functionalities that are available in your existing solution. So we try to build the same processes, everything will be brought in. At the same time, we also try to cover some of the things like you have the crims. We try to look at which are of these particular crims can be brought in as standard processes within the IFS cloud environment. And then for those particular things, we build those configurations within the IFS cloud as part of the technical upgrade, and then eliminate those particular crims and then bring the rest of the crims back into the IFS cloud environment, do the data migration, and then go for go live activities. So this is the process that we do as part of the technical upgrade. And then we also have a second process when you want to go for a solution optimization or a solution re-engineering. Then we have to go with the standard greenfield or the re-implementation kind of methodology to perform the actual upgrade. Since we have done an upgrade readiness assessment where we have already studied about your processes, we have studied about the as is, and also finalized what should be as part of the to be solution and such kind of things. We start our exercise of upgrade or the re-implementation from the completion of the prototyping exercise. The confirm prototyping exercise will be completed. We establish the solution, we build the solution what is required for you with all these particular functionalities, the re-implemented solutions, the improved processes or the re-engineered processes, whatever are there, and then we showcase it to you for testing the solution as part of the user acceptance testing, which is as part of the implement solution, and then we take it to go live and hypercare. So based on the assessment that we are studying about your version, and also about your current solution and the outcome that is expected out of this particular upgrade, we try to adopt one of the process, which is either could be a technical upgrade or could be a greenfield implementation. I will cover more about the upgrade readiness assessment and what we cover to ensure that we are providing a successful upgrade to you at the end of this particular one. We do not want to redo the some of the activities by not going for a proper assessment and such kind of thing. So we do a complete assessment of the current system. There will be three different activities that we will be looking at. We will be looking at the readiness discovery, whether the systems that you have and the processes that you have are ready for upgrade. We look at we look at your processes. We try to discover, try to do a discovery workshop of your processes, of your current requirements, of your current crims and such kind of things, to look at what are involved, and then also analyze and analyze the current solution, and then find out what should be your to be solution, what are the strategies to be adopted while going uh, to your upgraded solution, and such kind of things also are analyzed. And then the complete upgrade project, the project plan, everything will be defined before we really start with the upgrade exercise. And while we do all these particular three activities, our prime focus will be on these three particular areas. One is the technical platform that is going to be created, that on which this particular solution is going to be created, the solution itself, the current solution that you have, and then what kind of solution enhancements that we need to bring in, what kind of methodologies that we have to follow. All those things will be analyzed, and also the type of services that we need to provide to be able to successfully build the upgrade for you. These are the areas that we will be focusing while we perform the upgrade readiness assessment. The first one of it, I will try to cover what we try to do as part of the technical platform in identifying the deployment solutions, and also sizing of the infrastructure that you need to create if it is a remote instance and such kind of things. So what we try to do is we have certain kinds of steps in which are performed as part of the upgrade readiness assessment to help customer choose and also decide and define the best method to take to that particular upgrade. So one of the activity will be to help the customer selecting the suitable cloud deployment model. So this is solution is a IFS Cloud is a solution as a service from IFS. And then essentially the intention is to have the customers connect to the service, and IFS make sure that your solution is available with dedicated resources, monitored and secured at all times. So there is a lifecycle experience module, which is which has the build place, wherein the solution definition, tailoring, and updates are managed. So this particular one always will be hosted as part of the IFS cloud solution. So IFS hosts this particular part in its own cloud solution, but this is completely owned by you for your solution. So complete ownership is with you, but it is hosted on IFS cloud. The lifecycle experience uh, will uh, will also be used to generate the use places. The build place is used to generate the use place, which is your non-production and production environments, like your test environment, your QA environment, your training environments, and also finally the production environments that are required to run your solution, and also for providing end user access. These are all created from the build place, and these things can also be created on the IFS managed cloud, which could be leveraged by calling it as the use place. So at the same time, you also have, when you are adopting to cloud, you also have AI functionalities, and then the AI functionalities are available on the separate tenant on the same IFS managed cloud, which will be connected to the use place to leverage the AI functionalities as part of this particular solution itself. While this is the one of the way that you host your IFS cloud solution, as well as also get the flexibility to start using the solution in a much rapid and a quick manner, there are other ways for hosting the solution or deploying the solution. It is not always that a customer would like to host it in the cloud. Customer might require to host it in an on-premise, or maybe he would like to host it on a cloud of his own choice, or maybe on a cloud that is hosted by another IFS partner like Provi. Provi also is a Microsoft partner, AWS partner, and a Google partner. And then Provi also helps its customers in hosting solutions on the cloud. So Provi also could help host the solutions on the cloud. So what happens if that is the scenario is also we address in that particular case. So this kind of implementation or the deployment where we try to host it on a remote instance, so host it on the customer's own environment. So here what happens is the build place still stays within the IFS cloud environment, but still owned and controlled by the customer. But the use place, which is your non-production and production systems, will be staying on your own environment, be it a on-premise environment or a cloud-hosted environment, which could be Azure or AWS. We can host these things or any of these particular things. So the customer environments, which are normally called as the use place, are all hosted in this particular scenario. Now, what happens here is that in this particular model, currently there is no provision to connect to the IFS AI functionalities when you are installing your use place on any other solution other than in the IFS cloud environment. But then going forward from middle of 2025 this year, when most probably when we are having the 25 R2 version, there is something called as a remote hybrid deployment model also coming in. The concept of this particular remote hybrid model is to make the services similar to that of the remote installation, while you have the non-production environment and the production environments are still installed on your on-premise or the cloud solutions, the private cloud solutions that you want to have either on Azure or AWS or any other solution. What happens is that the services of AI platform will be made available to these particular systems which are not on IFS cloud solution also, or which are remotely deployed. All these particular things will be able to access those things. So the IFS AI platform is still IFS cloud deployed, managed by IFS, but accessible from within the remote deployment and utilized by the application. So the remote hybrid model can thus be deployed in a similar way to the remote model, meaning that the environments can be fully remote or in a cloud hosted by a customer or by the partners like Provi. The difference is that the services consumed, like the AI modules, will still reside in IFS Cloud in Azure within the IFS AI platform and are managed by IFS. So that's how actually we are able to leverage the um, deployment model of choice, but still you can leverage the functionalities that are coming up in the solutions which are on the platform that is provided by IFS or on your own platform. So there are other areas also which we normally look at as part of the upgrade exercise to ensure that we are having a better success on this particular upgrade. So we try to assess the functional and technical processes that we have from the current system, so that we identify these particular things, and then we try to align the business processes with the IFS cloud capabilities. We try to identify existing customizations that can be converted into standard functionalities in IFS cloud. We try to leverage the business process automation methods and other methods for building automation or for building workflows for bringing efficiency, and such kind of things also will be done. So what happens is that these are all the processes that we have to study as part of the readiness assessments, and also we have to work out the strategy which of these particular things will have to change, what functionalities have to be changed, what kind of modifications that you have can be leveraged by the existing new functionalities in IFS cloud, and what has to be done to get these particular things within the IFS cloud environment with ease. All these particular things are analyzed before we get to the upgrade solution itself. So at the same time, we also have to plan for the integrations, because integrations with third-party applications also are important for the IFS application. So we need to identify the integrations that are going to be with third-party identifications, identify and decide what needs to be built using IFS standard APIs. IFS provides a full set of RESTful APIs for connecting with third-party solutions, but at the same time, you could also reduce the amount of number of connectors that you are going to have, the number of applications that are going to integrate with IFS, by leveraging third-party middleware such as Boomi to connect the integrations on a hub and spoke model instead of the mesh model. We also need to arrive at the data migration strategies. We have to analyze the data and arrive at the data mapping strategy, identify areas where we need to cleanse the data and also to optimize the data, and such kind of things are need to be identified. Provi has got certain kind of accelerators. Provi has built some data migration accelerators which actually help to move the basic data, the master data, and also the open transactions when we are moving from the legacy version to the new version. So what happens is that when a technical upgrade, these things are already part of the standard scripts, but whereas when we are adopting to the greenfield implementation or the re-implementation exercise, the data migration also has to be handled separately. So Provi has created some kind of these data migration accelerators which actually help perform these particular activities in a much accelerated manner. You will almost be gaining about around 15 to 20 weeks of time will be saved for performing the data migration alone using these particular accelerators. And at the same time, we leverage industry best practices for ensuring a seamless transition to the IFS cloud environment. So it also happens that when we are going for the solution optimization or a solution re-engineering, we try to arrive at the upgrade roadmap considering the kind of scenarios that the customer has. When I'm having a customer who has got multiple rollouts, multi-country implementations, and such kind of things, what we try to look at is we try to arrive at a global template which will have all the standardization of the processes that they have across different countries, which will help the customer to ensure that their solutions are standardized across the globe. We try to build those particular things by using the scope benefit analysis, and then we try to create the initial processes to ensure that all the processes are brought in commonly, and then we create a pilot with the first set of the global processes by implementing the specific localizations that are respective for that particular initial pilot. Once everything is fine, we go for creating the business improvements on top of this particular solution. At the same time, when we have to move these particular things or create the rollouts for the other countries, we take the global template as the standard based solution, and then we will try to create the localizations alone using the extensions, the global extensions that are provided by IFS, and then we try to roll it out for the respective countries after implementing the tax, legal, and statutory related requirements of that particular country. So this helps in creating the value creation process. It actually makes the process much more standardized. It will actually improve the overall solution implementation, maintenance, and other things also as part of this particular one. As part of the upgrade, to ensure that the success is available, we also leverage on workflows. So there are so many things that we have to maintain the software in an evergreen manner, is to ensure that we have as the crims as minimum as possible, or make the solution as close as possible to the standard, to ensure that the automated upgrade processes and update processes can be run smoothly when doing the upgrades. So when we are moving into IFS Cloud itself, we try to study these particular requirements also. IFS has come up in IFS Cloud using a functionality called as business process automation functionality, which is termed as workflows. These workflows, this utility is built on an open source platform called Camunda, and then it has got access to all of the IFS REST APIs within the application. And IFS also provides you with a workflow designer, which utilizes the business process modeling and notation BPMN tool for building these particular workflows. And these workflows are saved as configuration, and hence it is efficient during an upgrade process. Since these workflows are saved as configurations, they are not going to be affected because of a subsequent update or an upgrade. And this is going to be the most advantageous scenario when to keep your solution, IFS Cloud solution, to be evergreen, and then also you will be able to adapt to all the new functionalities with ease, and also at the same time you are having these things on time for you. So at the same, what is this particular workflow automation tool or workflow tool is going to do is to take the inputs from different kinds of sources. It could be from the UI that is coming in from the IFS Cloud. IFS Cloud uses an Arena UI, which is a web-based UI. It could have the inputs from that particular place. It could be having the data that is coming in from the integration touch points, could be through an IFS Connect or through a RESTful API, or from the IoT devices, or maybe from a Dell Boomi kind of interface, or maybe from a digital twin. So any kind of data that is coming in could be taken as input for this particular one. You will have a workflow engine where you are creating the workflows that are workflow logics that are going to be designed to how your output of this particular work to be is there, and then these things are all used to generate the output out of this particular workflow engine. Now, where I can use these particular workflow engines is something which I define here. So the workflows can be used for solutions such as user interaction workflows. That means when a user performs an action and a business process request, the process requires the user to enter additional information regarding the transaction. At that time, you can use the workflows that are for user interaction. So I'm showing a example workflow, like when you want to have a release project activities, like you want to have a workflow that will release all activities connected to a project when the project is approved. So when you want to do such kind of things, you can create a workflow which automatically does this particular activity based on this particular workflow. You don't need to do much of coding. You are actually having drag and drop functionalities. You can connect these particular things as in a flow chart, and then this particular workflow will help you get these particular activities related to event driven solutions or user interaction workflows to be built easily. So other kind of examples could be that when you want to have a data update or a pre and post API action is invoked, when you want to have time milestones to be handled and such kind of things, you can actually interact with this particular user interaction workflows. There are validation workflows also that ensure data accuracy and integrity within this particular solution. So validation workflows are designed to conditionally prevent a user from completing an action within the system by prompting with an error message. So you can actually define certain conditions. You can have multiple multiple workflows are the processes that will define the way that a user is not allowed to make a mistake, or the user is aided with a proper mechanism to perform the activity without an error. So this kind of validation from stopping a user from creating a customer order from when he is actually trying to use a restricted site and such kind of things can be built using the workflows like this. So here there is a workflow which is actually defining based on the user input. It will try to look for whether it is a restricted site or something like that. It requires about 3 to 4, at least minimum 3 to 4 kind of workflows that are to be added. The workflows, whatever you are going to have, also apart from this, you are going to define the parameters, you are going to define the expressions on how these particular workflow functions are defined, and also you can define the area on how these particular messages are described to you to generate the alert messages to the user, such that he will not perform those activities. So all these particular things can be built using the workflows by automating them. This will also reduce some of the work that you are having. You can also use this particular one for enriching the processes. This provides a functionality wherein data required is to be created, altered, or deleted. Say, for example, you have a city weather forecast, or you have forex exchange rates, wherein you want to perform a process enrichment by retrieving a required data from a web service. You can leverage these particular kind of process enrichment functionalities and then implement those particular things. Overall, what I'm trying to tell with these particular functionalities is that, so you can leverage this particular workflows to eliminate repetitive tasks which you have been doing manually in the previous scenarios, your older solutions. You can boost the productivity by enhancing the efficiency and output for the users. So you can actually increase the implementation quality because you are having higher standards in the project execution, and then most of these things are already automated, and then you have better control on how these particular solutions are used, and then in a error free manner. And then you are actually increasing the business agility through continuous adoption to the changes and such kind of things. So you have faster user adoption and quicker time to value, and also improved self-sufficiency to tailor your own solution. So all these particular things make it useful to use workflows when we are planning to do an upgrade to the IFS solution in the IFS cloud. So all these particular things will be leveraged while Provi tries to generate a upgrade solution for you. And at the same time, we do understand that there might not be much of scope changes or the process changes when you are going on a technical upgrade scenario. But whereas when you are going for the process optimization or the re-engineering and such kind of things, we need to uh, also change the processes. We need to document the processes. We need to republish the process models, and also the workshop materials, book of rules. Everything needs to be updated. So IFS has got some accelerator tools called as a scope tool, and then Provi generally uses this particular scope tool to collaboratively build the comprehensive scope for your project. And then we start with tried and tested processes. It also helps to lay the solid foundation for the success. So the scope tool is used to allow us to create a tailored scope that meets your unique requirements. And then we can also build the scope of processes for the implementation, and also it helps in requirements traceability for dependency checking and management. So we try to manage the scope baseline using the scope tool. We can also use the scope tool to schedule the baseline. Also, we have to calculate the cost baseline, or also to handle some kind of testing related outputs, artifacts, and such kind of things can be generated through this. If at all you are using click learn kind of utilities as part of your upgrade, then scope tool outputs can be directly fed to click learn to adapt to that particular solution quickly from the click learn aspect also. So as I have covered most of the best practices that we normally try to use, the areas that we try to analyze as part of the upgrade readiness assessment, these are all some things that we try to look at to ensure that we build a successful upgrade for you at the end of the upgrade exercise. So what happens at the end of the upgrade readiness assessment is that we generate a set of processes that are there, which are actually studied as part of the solution strategy, and all these particular things are documented properly. We come up with a service strategy that has to be required for performing the actual upgrade. We analyze the findings, we create a commercial proposal which will help you understand the complete aspects of the upgrade process, the roadmap, and the complete solution that is required to be done. We also provide the sizing guidelines if you are going for a remote installation of the IFS solution or as part of the deployment model. And once the URA is completed, we are all ready for the IFS upgrade activity. Now, as I have described earlier, the one of the process would be to go for a technical upgrade process. As we have done the upgrade readiness assessment, the first normal technical upgrade process, the first few activities which are to study the systems would not be required to be done again. But whereas we try to directly go with the core upgrade iterations, and then we try to establish the CRIMs. We try to develop, we try to specify and develop the new CRIMs and the new specifications, and then try to start building the solution from there. And then once the scripts are tested, once we try to do the initial upgrade, core upgrade is done, we also try to move the CRIMs into this particular upgrade on top of this particular one. We test this particular one, we go for a rehearsal, and then we go for the go live. Rehearsal is nothing but a UAT exercise that we will be doing along with you, and then we'll also update the overall documentation along with providing training to your end users before we go for go live. So this is the standard process of technical upgrade. If you have gone through the previous versions to the IFS 10 also, but then from IFS 10 to cloud also, we follow the similar processes, except that the initial activities are performed as part of the upgrade readiness assessment, and the rest of the process will be the similar one. But at the same time, we try to leverage the new functionalities that are available in IFS Cloud, which I have described a little while ago, to be part of this particular process after the application has been moved into the IFS Cloud. As I have told in the other scenario, that the second scenario is to implement it as a re-implementation. When I'm doing the re-implementation also, as part of the upgrade readiness assessment, we have already assessed the solution from the initiate project side. On the workshops already would have been completed. So what we do is we try to start from the prototyping phase alone. We try to complete the prototyping as part of this particular standard re-implementation methodology, and then we try to build the solution as part of the standard implementation methodology that is defined by IFS, perform the UAT, operational readiness test with the and acceptance test, and then once it is done, we move the solution into the live environment. So this is the process that we will follow as part of the upgrade process. So as I have told here, now we are moving all the existing processes into the new environment after mapping them to the new IFS cloud processes. We map all these particular CRIMs into the standard solutions within the IFS cloud environment. We try to create workflows and such kind of things instead of creating modifications and customizations within the IFS cloud environment. We try to create the solutions using workflows, or we try to leverage applications like third-party applications like Flow or something like that to create workflows out of these particular requirements outside the IFS environment, and then we connect them through the integration channel to IFS, so that the solution on IFS is as close as possible to the standard, which will help to be much more a better candidate to be evergreen, and also for quick upgrades and updates can be possible with that particular one. And when we do all these particular things, we also help our customers to plan for how to get into AI, because AI and automation is also an area where many people would like to move into this particular area. As per a Gartner report, 70% of the enterprises are increasing their investments to leverage AI capabilities within the next 12 months. Even McKinsey says that high performing organizations will invest much more than others in AI And those are more than 5 times more likely than others to say they spend more than 20% of their digital budgets on AI. Now, IFS has already got AI functionalities within the IFS cloud through its IFS.ai, which are classified as industrial AI classes. So IFS.ai delivers artificial intelligence capabilities that are seamlessly embedded within the IFS cloud. I will try to cover a little about IFS.ai features and functionalities which you could leverage to add as part of your processes or as part of your upgrades when you move into IFS cloud function, IFS cloud systems. So when I'm trying to look at the AI classes, right? So there are six different types of classes are there, and then when you look at the when you look at the top three, right? So how we surface and present AI generated predictions, right? So the AI generated predictions are how they are presented, how these results are there, and how the content is handled, and such kind of things are part of the top three types of AI classes. So that means when I'm having a content generation, right, the ability to generate new content considering the current context and the needs has to be looked into. So first of these could be content generation using large language models to automatically generate content for us within the platform. It could be in the form of a question or a question answer response. It could be proactively giving information back to say that a technician in the field, or it could be automatically populating a work order, or for example, based on some kind of historical information, it is actually building the data for you on the screen and such kind of thing. So anything where we are actually writing new content directly without a human being involved is a use case for AI, and it is going to take advantage of the GPTs that are going to be running in the backend for this particular one on the content generation. Similarly, on the recommendations end, timely suggestions for users to provide them with insights and ability to take the best action is the way that we have to put as part of the AI solutions. So we can think of this as a sort of next best action, right? So based on a number of different circumstances or a number of different options, what should I do next, or what are the one of these consequences of me taking various decisions? So any recommendation has to be obviously based on a number of possible decisions, and from an AI perspective, what that is doing is really classifying all the options you have into different pots or buckets, scoring them in some way, and then returning these recommendations for you for your action to the user. So that it's a whole class of AI that we can potentially use, and we are using to some extent in the current scenario also. The third part of it is the conceptual knowledge, where we analyze large volumes of data within the IFS ecosystem and surface it for specific groups of users in a summary digestible fashion. This again, we because we are leveraging on the large language models we are talked about, and it's combining it into intelligent search. And the idea here is based on vast amount of data that are there. The typical structured data that we have in our databases, either the database or the cloud database that will be there. You have a lot of unstructured data also that we have got from different technicians, or from notes, or from manuals, or whatever be it. It could have potentially images, videos, and other things. So we have to get that particular knowledge back to the people who need it most effectively from all that particular data. And that's where you need a combination of the large language models and the search. So we are trying to answer a question for trying to find the right information needed to perform this particular one. Say, like for example, we want to fix an asset, and it could give a number of options that can be passed on to large language model, which can say, okay, based on all these particular possibilities, I'm still going to distill into something which I give back for a person to perform as a step-by-step action. So all these things form part of the LLM driven presentation. The bottom three are the ones where when you have calculations, when you have a calculation is happening, and it is happening in the background, and then it generates the value or present a suggested approach for decision making powered by AI. So all these particular things form the bottom part of these particular things. So two different ways of handling the AI can be leveraged using this particular one. So for on the example side, forecasting, simulation, and optimization, these could be part of your planning and planning, scheduling and optimization in a field service application. It could be on a manufacturing scheduling and optimization in a manufacturing system, or it could be taking actually quantifiable inputs and such as sets of goals, constraints, jobs, and resources, and calculating how to achieve the best possible outcome. So you can move to all these particular things. And at the same time, you want to have automatic identification of abnormality through combining existing KPIs and business logics with real-time data feeds. You want to have these particular data collected, and then you want to have decisions taken without having human involvement, without having to calibrate these models to say that I expect the system to behave in this particular manner and such kind of thing. So you need to have a continuously learning system with machine learning and other things. You want to handle these particular things. You can use the predictive driven calculation for these particular, using these particular bottom modules. Now, how we leverage these particular things? The bottom modules we leverage using the machine learning, which in IFS is accessible to everyone for automating the technical complexities. And it is built on scalable infrastructure, because we are here, we are not talking as shared service. Here we are talking about shareable infrastructure, which optimizes computing resources, aligning with sustainability goals, and facilitating quick customer onboarding through unified deployments. It's also agile and scalable. It is offering a robust foundation for deploying scalable machine learning solutions. It ensures flexibility to integrate with third-party solutions and adapt to emerging technologies. And also, we ensure that we automate the entire machine learning process from an end-to-end automation perspective, covering the data pre-processing, model tuning, deployment, and continuous monitoring for user convenience. So these are all the key features that we can leverage on the machine learning when we are looking at the bottom three layers of the one which I have shown in the previous slide. And coming to the IFS.ai, IFS provides a copilot, IFS.ai Copilot, which is again built on the LLM that has been built within the IFS solution itself. It can also work on its own by the data that is available within the copilots that are built within IFS solution, and also it can integrate with copilots that can be built outside the IFS solution, and then work together. So the what it does is to enrich the IFS Cloud user experience by leveraging generative AI and natural language processing to simplify the workflows, offering a unified, intelligent interface that boosts efficiency. Currently, the IFS.ai Copilot supports areas like virtual assistants, chat-powered generative AI, and large language model, end user help and documentation, and built-in search function. Say, for example, in many businesses, effective end user training can be expensive, difficult, or often an overlooked activity. But the quality of data that users put into the system has the biggest impact on the quality of the information and the value you can derive from the solution. So, what IFS.ai Copilot can be used to help a user with step by step instructions on how to carry out a process quickly and accurately by helping the users where they need it the most, and at the point of data entry, which helps reduce the training burden and also help improve the ROI. So to achieve these things, what IFS does is IFS copilots will have access to the complete IFS cloud documentation along with the customer documentations. So these things are loaded on a data lake, and then these from the cloud data lake, all this particular documentation is available. The AI bots would have already learned these particular things. They would have created the large language model related artifacts based on this particular documentation that is there. It also looks at the customer documents from the customer data lake, and then creates the customer specific unstructured data related activities also are captured into the large language model, and so that it helps the copilot to generate necessary responses in aiding the users to perform activities easily. So, and also you can have the copilots access your transactional data. So based on this particular transactional data, the copilots can also generate for you an output that is based on your transactions that are currently available within your system. So like, say, for example, you are asking for your dispatcher to find out where these particular your field technicians have been going, and then which person has got some kind of free jobs and such kind of things. So it looks into the data, and then it answers those particular queries easily and immediately, so that you don't have to skim through different kinds of screens where you will have to look for that particular data. So this is an example of how this particular IFS Copilot's uh, chatbot looks like. It's a chatbot that you can initiate from the IFS screen. It is having all the information that is it is built within the IFS Cloud application itself. It can be used to and it can be used to achieve enhanced efficiency as well as creativity with routine task automation, reduced training burden, and faster onboarding with self-service help and support, and improved user interactions and conversational AI. It makes it more important for the information retrieval being from a training documentation or from the customer's own documentation. And also it helps in improved decision making with personalized guidance and insights and suggestions. So it actually has got the access to all the data and the environments based on the rules and the roles that the person is having. So it is again controlled by the role based access rights for that particular person who is having. It has got context awareness. It understands which page the user is, so it automatically gets the page that the current user is, and then it will try to provide the data respective to that particular page and the context that the user is giving, so that the responses are always accurate to based on the page that or the context that the user is going to give it to the AI algorithm. So, and any AI algorithm, right? So, or any chatbot, the queries that we are going to have needs to be provided with prompts. Prompt engineering also is an important aspect here. So there are a lot of predefined prompts that have been provided for each kind of image, each kind of pages, or the each kind of areas that we have to work with. So these things are all taken care of by the prompts. We can also develop custom prompts for you based on your requirement. So there are a lot of advantages because of this particular Copilot. So you will have boosted productivity and creativity. So you have an efficiency and innovative thinking can be done. It speeds up learning and integration processes. It also increases the interaction and satisfaction between the user community as well as the end user or the employee experience can be much better. You can actually also optimize the processes and provide better insights out of the workflows and such kind of things that are there. So when you look at the IFS.ai capabilities in 24R2, which was the last version that has been released last year, end of the last year, these are the different functionalities that are available when it comes to content generation or the contextual knowledge or the anomaly detection in the or any kind of solution that we are having. So these are all available as part of the 24R2. Now, the thing is that every upgrade, IFS.ai functionalities are increasing. New functionalities are being added, new use cases are being added into this particular one, and new capabilities are being added. So this is also one of the reason where it makes it more important for ensuring that your solution is evergreen and to leverage the new functionalities as and when it comes. So while Provi develops all these particular things, while Provi creates all these particular solutions for you as part of the upgrade solution, Provi also, as part of the relationship with IFS, has got a partner success relationship with IFS. Now, how it helps is that Provi also has got the capabilities to perform the upgrade readiness assessment and such kind of things, and to build the solutions. But at the same time, when it requires guidance on effective strategies for ensuring success, the best practices need to be followed. So we have this particular partner success wherein the relationship helps us get the guidance from the IFS people. We have on-demand access to the support materials where IFS resources. A lot of IFS resources are there, and being a uh, partner success relationship member, we have access to those particular things. And also, with the help of IFS, We help driving consistency and quality in processes, adhering to standards, driving to standards. We also have access to top industry knowledge and innovations very quickly from the IFS expertise through this particular partner success. So together with partner success, and with the relationship with the IFS, whatever we have through partner success, and our capabilities and experience implementing IFS cloud upgrades from legacy versions, both in the form of technical upgrades as well as in the form of re-implementations and greenfield upgrades, leveraging all the best practices that have been talked till now, and also to create innovation and also best value to you through implementing AI solutions. Provi will promise you to bring you a best upgrade experience. With this, I will hand over to my colleagues, Dimitri and Priscilla, for the next steps.
Thank you, Srinivas. At this time, we have roughly 12 or so minutes left. Why don't we open it up for questions? We covered a lot of ground, so would love to get your feedback. Let's take 5 to 7 minutes or so for questions, and then we'll wrap up.
David Kinsey says, I'm curious about client QA testing and validation best practices. Do you see clients developing their own custom testing and validation processes, or adapt a process based on the scope, end-to-end scenarios, and the scope test tracker XLS?
Definitely. So, from the testing perspective, based on the processes that are captured, the client QA testing and validation processes are the most important one to be captured. And then all these things will be captured as part of the test processes within the scope tool, which will be covered as part of the testing scenarios when Provi tests it as part of the SIT, or maybe puts client tests it themselves as part of the UAT. Definitely, these particular processes are possible, and then we can include them into the scope tool. End of the day, the scope tool repository is your asset, and then you will have all your artifacts, including your test artifacts, into that particular one.
All right. So everyone who attended today will receive a copy of this IFS Cloud Migration Strategy Guide. The guide kind of walks you through why you should be upgrading, some of the pre-migration considerations, outlining the process of what it takes to do such, and then some best practices. So everyone will receive a copy of this. And then
If there aren't any more questions, I'll just say, as we wrap up today's session, we really just scratched the surface, right? Touching on key drivers, strategies, and approaches that can help you transition seamlessly to the cloud. Every organization's journey is unique, as you know, so we'd love an opportunity to continue the conversation and explore, how Provi can support you with your specific upgrade path. And at Provi, we really pride ourselves on delivering results. We're committed to excellence. So something we call the Provi promise. And, there are really 5 key reasons you might want to consider us as a partner for your journey. It's everything starting from our global reach. We have a number of certified experts that span the globe, ensuring that, wherever you are, you have the right team of people to support you, or whether it's agility and efficiency. We know that there are no 2 clients that are alike, which I shared earlier. And so what we'll do is we'll adapt quickly to meet your unique needs. So whether that's, finding an economic strategy or finding a way to embed your team in a project plan, we're very flexible when it comes to finding creative ways to eliminate the burden of the upgrade component, or the services component of the upgrade. We're 24/7 responsive, so we have a follow the sun model, as I shared earlier. So real world experience, and we really take on a consultative approach at the end of the day. And finally, last but not least, we're committed to your success. So, your success is our top priority, and we stand by that with our 4.6 out of 5 customer satisfaction rating. So we're happy to provide references and all that other good stuff. So with that, we'd love to schedule a follow-up discussion to explore what your goals are and tailor an approach to fit your business. So feel free to reach out. Let's take the next steps together. So thank you all for your time today.